It's the unofficial Oscar, well, that's the pre-party, Golden Globe and Miss America after party. We will be discussing the highlights and the lowlights. And of course, Chelsea and I will give you the Golden Globes and Miss America's fashion's winners and losers. All that plus news on Vivienne Westwood and Prince William. Anna Wintour and a state called Arizona. And of course, an eyebrow waxing you will not want to miss. Right now on This Week in Fashion.
Hey everyone, and welcome to This Week in Fashion. Now we've got a fabulous show lined up for you guys today, and I'm sure you've noticed awards season is in full swing, which means Hollywood fashion is in full force, with red carpet kudos and catastrophes abound. Now Blair and I, of course, will be rounding those up all show, but first we'd like to give a little shout out to Storm On Demand for making This Week In possible. Now if you guys get a chance, check out all the great content on thisweekend.com, and if you're interested in finding out more about cloud computing, head on over to stormondemand.com. Now, like I said, we have a lot to get to in today's show, but we want you guys to be a part of it. So if at any point during the half hour you want to weigh in, well, you can send us a note in the live chat room, email us to fashion@thisweekend.com, or tweet us at thisweekfashion. All right, now that we've gotten through all of that, it is time for you guys to meet your hosts. I am Chelsea Cannell, a self-proclaimed fashion addict and recovered shopaholic. Kind of recovered at least. Okay, not really, but I tried. All right, then there is this big guy who is the captain of the SS Fashion, Mr. Blair Late.
Chelsea, big guy, excuse me? I do Pilates for a reason. Hi, I'm Blair Late, your other host, ex-European pop star turned stylist to the stars, as well as the crazy opinionated fashion and entertainment correspondent. Now, we are missing our third leg today, Miss Sam. So those of you who are trying to write into us, don't forget you actually don't have someone on the other end, because Samantha Gutstadt, is in Salt Lake City. She is at Sundance doing a special for us. So she will give us all the scoop next week. In the meantime, send your thoughts and Sam or I or Chelsea will read them later. But let's cut to the chase. Clearly, I was so excited about awards season. In my introduction, I called the Golden Globes the Oscars.
They kind of are.
They kind
of.
They're
Precursor.
the wannabe Oscars,
Yeah.
the precursor. But let's just start.
The warm-up act.
Sunday night was the Golden Globes. Before we even go to the fashion, what'd you think?
Well, I mean, of course, all the talk has been about Ricky Gervais. Like,
Exactly.
Did he go too far? Did he not go far enough? Which I don't think that anybody really thought that. But I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of in between. Like, I thought, obviously, he's hysterical. A lot of really funny moments, but it was just so awkward. I mean, the room so silenced, the boos.
Oh, God.
Like, what?
Well,
Felt
here's
so
the
bad
deal.
for him.
I mean, I have to say, my favorite joke is when he compared the movie I Love You, Philip Morris with Jim Carrey and Ewan McGregor with two closeted homosexual Scientologists. I thought that was like a very funny joke. I didn't like when he messed with Robert Downey Jr., because bless his heart, Robert Downey Jr. has been to hell and back, and has been back for quite a while now doing some good things, and I don't think he needs to be remembered by that.
But he was a really good sport about it. I mean, he came out and presented, I think, right after, or
Yes,
a little bit after. Totally a good sport about it. So he was one of the ones who actually took it pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
But some of the other people, I mean, there was a shot, this shot of Halle Berry just doing that laugh you do when you're like, this is really awkward, and I don't know what to do about it.
It was a lot of awkward laughing. J-Lo, apparently, he didn't say anything bad about her because she told him backstage, like,
touch me and you're dead.
Touch me and you're dead. And my husband used to be a boxer in the Bronx kind of thing.
I don't know if I would be that scared of her husband.
I wouldn't be scared of Mark Anthony either, but Ricky Gervais stayed away from
Yeah,
them,
he did.
so it must have worked somehow.
But a couple of the other stars were wishing that they would have given him some such warning. But
I know.
It made for a good show. I mean, I don't think he's ever going to be hosting much.
Well, they say they may be
else.
bringing him back.
Really?
They like when he stirs the pot. It gives them bigger ratings.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's
we'll see.
True. Hollywood may not like it.
Now, were you surprised by any of the winners, losers, before we cut on to why you're really here for the fashion?
No, I was kind of surprised. I thought, not necessarily because it was best movie, although it did get that nod, but I thought that Facebook movie was going to get, The Social Network was going to get a little bit more than it actually
Well,
did.
got director, screenplay, movie.
But I thought at least some of the actors
Right.
would have gotten something for it. But no, other than that, I mean, I felt, Natalie Portman.
So excited for Natalie. And her speech was
so
adorable.
Cute. Yeah, the bit about her now
husband,
fiance.
her
So
fiance.
cute. And she's been getting so much, about her laugh, like so much hell for her laugh. But I thought it was so cute and endearing.
She's adorable.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not love her? But anyways, we're
And
here
let's
to talk
cut
about
to the fashion. Speaking
Yeah.
of Natalie, she's fortunately or unfortunately for her, because she's not on your list, right?
no,
okay.
she almost made
She didn't
my
make it on my
worst.
best, and she didn't make it on my worst, and she did not make it on your best
No.
or your worst.
I
Why
thought
is
about
that?
it.
Because she was right in between, right?
I don't know. She was leaning more towards the worst for me. I know you kind of felt differently,
See,
but
she
for
was
me,
leaning more towards my best, but not my very best, so
No.
I didn't choose her.
All right. Well, so why don't we get to the
Yeah,
best?
let's start. Well, my number one, I have top three, and they're actually all tied, so not number one. But my first of my top three ultimate best dress of the Golden Globes 2011 is, drumroll please, Halle Berry. Oh my God.
Stunning.
Oh my God, it was just unbelievable. I mean, such an interesting dress, and I heard people ripping this to shreds because of the short skirt part and then the attached with the long.
It didn't really look like this, though. This is the best picture to sort of show that, but it really looked like a long dress with just like a sheath. I didn't even know it was short until I saw that picture.
Oh God,
No.
yeah. It was a second skin corseted mini dress with a sheer overlay designed by Nina Ricci.
Wow.
And she had the Harry Winston stacked bracelets.
Because you have to. It's all about the
So,
diamonds.
and I know she's one of those, you can be like bald and like she could still look amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I haven't seen her really work it on the red carpet in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think this was the best comeback of fashion she has had in quite some time.
I don't think she ever really makes that much of a bad choice. I mean, I've never really seen her on a worse list. So,
Right.
But you're right. Just classic, elegant. Not too much, not too little.
Yeah, and I'm surprised I went with the black for one of my favorites because, as you know, there was so much. We were right 2 weeks ago. Pantone's number one color, honeysuckle pink, was in fact the most worn color at the Golden Globes.
Yes.
And oddly enough, I didn't choose one in
I
my
don't think
top
I
three
don't
with
think I
that
did
color.
either.
But we're both kind of wearing
Yeah.
it today.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was my first one. My second, I had to put a guy in here because
course.
it's very rare, in my opinion, at these award shows. You see a guy that really looks so charming and so stunning that he's equally as hot as the girls. And this year, I'm going to give that award to Mr. Ryan Gosling. I mean, Salvatore Ferragamo, head to toe, velvet
Fabulous.
tux, slick back hair, just a perfect amount of stubble. You just can't get any better than that.
Now, are you in love with his fashion or more with him?
No, I mean, I've always been a fan of
Yeah.
his, but it's not like, I cream over Zac Efron in a magazine before I look at Ryan Gosling. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not like obsessed.
Yeah.
I just thought he looked so dapper.
He did. You're right. And for him too, you don't necessarily
Yeah.
think of him as like a fashion forward type of guy. So it was nice.
Like, I saw him as a young Paul Newman that night. He just had this sex
Definitely,
appeal, but
good
this
pick.
suaveness about him. And it was, again, all black. So I don't know what my anti-color thing is.
Well, you're making up for it in this next one.
I know, but I'm making up. My third favorite, and I actually will have to say this is actually probably my number one choice of dress. I just was fascinated by it, and too bad you can't see it move in our picture. But that would be January Jones. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but that's all fringe. The whole thing is actually made out of that 1920s fringe you see at dance recitals in Texas. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not the most expensive material, but I just love how it lays on her, and it's all Versace. Her shoes and bag and dress, all Versace.
Really?
And the jewelry is by, of course, Neil Lane. You don't get much better than Neil Lane. But I'm telling you, what did you think about this? Because I know some people either loved it or hated it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This one was really controversial. And I mean, I think it's a bold choice, not even just because it's fringe and she could basically show all her lady bits to everybody, but it's kind of a little naked. I mean,
but
and
it's just
people
perfect.
have done this in the past on the red carpet and
get
gotten
just creamed.
hammered for it. So, I don't know, it kind of walked a fine line. I actually really do like it, and I think I like it because she wore it. I don't know on anyone else if I would even be okay
Well, and
with
then
it.
on top of it, her hair and makeup
Perfect.
was
Yeah.
glorious.
Yes.
I mean, pray down to you. I worship you tonight, January. It was
Yeah.
awesome. And what I've been hearing by a lot of gossip in Hollywood is the reason she took such a risk is because, if you notice, she's on a hit TV show.
She is.
Which is actually a cable show, so it's not even, it's a hit, but it's not
cable
like
can be where it's at.
But it's not like a Friends type
Yeah.
hit, you know what I mean? And she's really trying to make that next step crossover to film.
Well,
and
that's
she
a way
thought
to
this
get
was her way
noticed.
to make a dramatic entrance, and I think it worked.
Yeah, it definitely did. All right, well,
So, that's
now
my top 3.
We've got your winners, so let's see what you think of my winners.
Yes, what are your winners, Chelsea? I can't wait.
Okay, so my first one, and I don't know if this is necessarily my favorite, but I'm going to go ahead and say it probably was.
Okay.
I wasn't that impressed with this red carpet, let me tell you. Like,
really?
I really didn't find a lot that I loved.
Okay.
I found a lot more that I didn't, but maybe that's just me being a cynic. But my first choice is Anne Hathaway. I thought she looked absolutely stunning. She's in an Armani Privé gown, embroidered crystals, Roger Vivier clutch, Brian Outward pumps, and Van Cleef.
She had a little bit of everything on.
Yeah, she did. Look at the back of this dress. I mean, I was like, wow. It's bold, it's beautiful. She looked like a classic movie star. The color could be very difficult to wear. She pulled it off. I really loved it. I mean,
I love the back. I think the back is brilliant.
Yeah.
But the front, the sleeves, she had the same type sleeves that Angelina Jolie had.
And I didn't like that at all.
I'm just not obsessed with. I mean, I didn't hate it by any means. I thought she looked great, and kudos to you, Miss Anne Hathaway, for becoming the new Catwoman. I don't know if you've heard that yet.
yes.
So I thought it was a great way to make her kind of, hi, look at me, I'm Catwoman entrance. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I'm not offended by it.
Okay, well, I'll take that answer. Now, moving on, we've got Amy Adams. She was my number 2.
Oh.
Now, I really liked this use of color. It's a Marquesa gown, which you really can't
Love
ever go
Marquesa.
wrong with. Brian Atwood pumps and Killian Hennessy clutch and Cartier diamonds. I just think this was classic, again, beautiful. Maybe that's what I'm looking for, is sort of more that old Hollywood thing. I don't like it when people try a lot of crazy stuff on the red carpet. I think, you know, especially for award shows like the Golden Globes or the Oscars, show up, look beautiful, look like the movie star that you are. Don't try to do something that's too much. And I think she didn't.
I think, you know what? That's a nice, conservative, safe choice.
Right?
I don't think it was edgy, but not offensive. It wasn't too plain. I think it was just nice.
It was beautiful.
Again, I'm kind of on this thing with you, Chelsea.
Yeah, you want me-
I'm not offended, but I'm not like obsessed. So let's just.
All right, well,
going.
let's see this next one. I'm not sure how you're going to feel about this.
Uh-oh.
I had really a hard time picking a third, so I know.
God, I could have chose
really?
5. Yeah.
I've been way more impressed at other red carpets. I'll just put that out there, and I
FYI.
hope the Oscars are better. But Mila Kunis, and I don't know if this is just because I was obsessed with
I
her in
love
Black
this.
Swan, but she has this beautifully draped Vera Wang emerald gown with an elegant updo, Judith Lieber clutch, and Lorraine Schwartz gold jewelry.
Love Elaine Schwartz.
I thought
Lorraine.
she looked beautiful. I think the color for me was, you know, it was just stunning with her dark hair. And if you saw Black Swan, like, I mean, you really can't help but have a girl crush on her.
She is
like,
kind of the new girl crush.
I mean, she's like the new Angelina Jolie to me.
I was just going to say
Yeah.
that. And they both wore emerald green.
I know,
What's
and
up with
I was
that?
not, you know, kudos to Angelina for not wearing black, but that was not
Yeah, that was not the
option
right
you should have
one.
picked. It was like too big on her.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know if Jen Raid, what she was smoking that week, but obviously something bad, because that was not a cute dress,
hey.
Jen. Ooh, I'm such a dick. Anyway, no, Mila, I liked it better than your other 2.
Okay.
Mila was my winner out of your group.
Oh, thanks a
So,
lot.
I like
Okay.
her. And
All
I
right.
love her smoky eyes.
Yes,
So,
beautiful. So
let's
should we
go to
move
your
on
losers.
To my losers.
This is the fun
All right.
part where we get to really be
some
mean.
more. Okay. So I was so disappointed in this. This is J-Lo. She's my, not my number 1, but probably
Okay.
my number 3. I just thought that this was boring and old and stodgy and looked like a Mother of the Bride dress if it was in a different color. It's Zuhair Murad, Harry Winston bling, and Swarovski crystal and Christian Louboutin pumps. What was happening with this? Like, it was like a see-through shawl situation.
It looks like something she's already worn before, right?
Oh, I hope not. No, I didn't like it at all. And she usually makes quite the fashion statement. Even last year with that like amazing like top that was on her dress, and it was like big, and she just looked so.
But you know what? Here's the thing.
amazing.
She's not nominated. She's only there because she's getting all this press together for Idol. So maybe she just was kind of like taking her. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I just.
To me, that looks like something you got out of a bad vintage store, like on an acid trip. Didn't like it at all.
Wow, we know how you
That's
feel
how much
about
I
J-Lo.
really didn't like it. But speaking of acid trips, my next choice.
Oh gosh, nice segue.
Is Helena Bonham Carter.
Okay,
What?
but this is
This is the
expected.
easy choice,
And
I know.
Speaking of Vivienne Westwood, who we're going to talk about later.
Really? I mean, so yes, it's a Vivienne Westwood dress, and God knows what else. I mean, how? What? Was she smoking 2 different color shoes? Like the
Wait,
hair?
I have to tell you, one of our fans just said, I'm on acid right now, and it looks great. So maybe you have to be tripping to appreciate these worst dress.
Or maybe our show is just better on acid. Who really knows?
Yeah, that Helena, I mean, I was going to choose it, but I thought that's so obvious. So I'm glad you did, because I did want to, I wanted to harp on it.
Just...
What is her problem? She's such a great actress. She's got like the coolest husband in the world, Tim Burton.
Yeah.
She does the dopest films.
That could explain this.
Yeah. But why does she always like go out of her way to like make Lady Gaga look like a good dresser? You know what I mean?
And you know what's funny about this though is it's like it didn't go all the way. It's not going to be like the Bjork swan dress that we've like talked about for years and years and years. I mean, this will be easily forgotten, but I don't know. It's very close to the characters that she plays, so maybe this is just another audition for some weird film.
I don't know with her.
Who knows?
You know, it'll be interesting to see what she wears at the Oscars.
I think so too.
I think she's either going to go even worse overkill, or she's going to be like, fine, I'll conform and wear something simple.
No, that's not going to happen.
Well,
I'll tell you right now.
Make a bet.
Let's make a little fashion bet.
Okay.
You have to buy me
it's
something
a glass
if I
of wine.
Win. All right.
You're third.
No, I want an outfit. Not a glass of wine.
Oh, whoa.
All right, moving on. Leighton Meester. I hate to do this.
Thank God you chose this.
I mean, I really love the Gossip Girls, which I shouldn't admit on television, but I do. I don't know what it is. I think it's the clothes, like amazing. What is with her? Who's styling her?
It's Burberry.
It's Burberry. Now, here's the thing with this. I think that this dress could be really great for, let's say, a fabulous Vogue spread. It could be very high fashion if you did it in the right scenery.
Or if you're auditioning for Little House on the Prairie, the musical.
That too. But I think that this is one of those classic, it might be great editorially, not great on the carpet.
Not so much.
And I think she really tries to make fashion risks, and well, obviously, everything she wears is like, you're like, what? But it's just...
That was beyond.
This was the wrong choice.
It was so... But shame on you, Burberry, for even producing this, is my thing. Don't just blame the actress for wearing it. Blame the designer for putting it on a piece of paper and getting it, you know?
Yeah, that's true. But again, I think that this has its place in some amazing fashion spread, so I can see why they produced it.
In Montana? Like where?
I mean, I don't know. But, but it just doesn't have its place on the red
carpet.
Those
were some good words, because I agree with all of them.
And she's young, and she looked like a 95-year-old.
Yeah, it was literally like the old woman, Gloria, from Titanic. This china was just been put on the table, and I'm wearing a dress from Burberry, 1922. I don't know what's happening,
but that's what Blair's going to look like in 60 years. Tune in for
it was very Grey Gardens meets Little House on the Prairie. Okay, well, time for my losers. I put a lot of thought into this, surprise, surprise, and I decided to kind of mix it up. So my first one, that actually, you're going to die when I show you this picture, because I found it on a best dress list.
Of course you did.
Clearly, we are different opinions. And this would be Hope Davis. Now, the lady can act, but what the hell was she? I mean, I literally feel like it's a... Speaking of the movie Titanic, it looks like this was an iceberg that the Titanic hit in the middle of the night. I mean, it is, look how frumpy her waistline looks.
No, it's quite terrible.
I mean, it's like she took a trash bag and then added some blue-colored dye to it and just was like, this is what I'm wearing to the Golden Globes. Like, I just don't get it.
I don't even know what to say about
remotely did she wear this and go, oh, I feel fabulous.
It's like a moo-moo.
It is awful.
Maybe she's pregnant. Maybe she's hiding a baby bump.
Well, that's no excuse. So Hope Davis, go back to Yale repertoire and act, but don't dress like that ever again, please.
Or just hire a stylist.
Exactly.
Oh, this next one is going to be one of my worst, but you got it.
Okay, so this next one, again, I chose her because she normally looks amazing, and she's one of those that cannot do anything bad. Well, I take that back because she did something bad, and that would be Heidi Klum. She's wearing, okay, first of all, are we at like the Mount Kilimanjaro resort in Hawaii having Mai Tais right now? Because last time
Mount Kilimanjaro resort in Hawaii? Wow, that sounds like an interesting place.
All I know is I feel like I'm literally at Kona Island in Hawaii getting ready to sing Bali High to South Pacific. I mean, and it's Marc Jacobs designed this disaster area. I mean, literally.
This dress looks like it is having a midlife crisis on menopause.
If I had been on the red carpet, I literally would have passed her a coconut with a pink straw and an umbrella in it and said, drink up, honey, because that's all you're going to do in this dress.
Well, and the terrible thing is the hair and makeup was horrid as well. And this is Heidi Klum.
And this is Heidi Klum.
Really? Project Runway, supermodel?
Again,
like, no.
I understand.
She has no excuse.
I understand like when Hope Davis, who's known for her acting, dresses badly because she's not there as a dresser, she's there as an actress.
Yeah.
I forgive you. I forgive Meryl Streep for looking like shit every time she shows up to an award show because she's a great dresser. I mean, a great actress. But Heidi Klum is a fashion diva. That's her industry. and she can't dress.
Well, and I don't understand why people try to walk this fine line of like, let me be, your next worst is a perfect example of this.
Yeah.
Let me be casual on a huge, like the dressiest, one of the dressiest carpets of the year. Why? Save this dress for a premiere.
I'm really upset with you, Heidi, and I'm just not okay with that. Now, my third and final, and my absolute worst dress, I just had to put this on my list. I wasn't going to let you have this one because this one honestly
I know, again, one I wanted.
The cake. And that would be Michelle Williams in Valentino.
This is such a waste of like a perfectly cute figure.
I mean, what on earth was she? I mean, driving Miss Daisy on a dress? I just don't understand.
Oh, Blair, it's awful. This is like a bad trip to the 70s.
And it's Valentino, for heaven's sakes. This is like watching Sarah Palin give a good speech. It just doesn't happen. I mean, who does this? I'm literally, my heart is palpitating. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
I literally rather smoke a cigarette with John Boehner right now because I can't handle this. I want to burn it with a cigarette of John Boehner's.
You know what? I've never seen you get this heated. I'm actually a little terrified. Like, can we get a bodyguard in the studio? I don't know what's happening.
Where's my Valium, Michelle Williams? No, seriously,
of
she was nominated for Best Actress.
Yeah.
All eyes are going to be on her. She must be taking the same pills as Heath Ledger was taking because that's what she looks like. I mean, it's just the worst thing I've ever seen.
I honestly don't understand this at all. I mean, it's just heinous. My cards are so upset that they just all fell to the ground.
Yeah, she's throwing her cards on the ground. She's so pissed. So anyway, I want to remind y'all one more time. Bibuha Mahapatra was the designer of Hope Davis's dress.
What just happened?
Marc Jacobs designed Heidi Klum's, and Valentino designed Michelle Williams. Do not buy those brands.
Oh!
Let's boycott them until they do better justice.
We can't do that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We can't do that.
Anyway, that's what I feel about them.
That's a whole lot of fabulous designers who had a whole lot of
So now
really
to relax
outfits.
for a sec, I have to shift my body out of this out-of-body experience and talk about something good.
You need to just cool down.
And that is TakeTake.com, my friend.
Yes, very exciting.
Well, okay, see, this is why I would go on TakeTake. For instance, I see Michelle Williams wear a bad Valentino dress. I write on TakeTake. I don't like Valentino. So then every Bitsky out there who wants to get the new Valentino dress with daisies on it goes, Blair Late doesn't like it, so I'm not going to like it either. That's precisely why I use TakeTake. But instead of negatively, I've been told to use it more for positive things.
Well, no, I think you can actually use it either way. I think, like, for instance, if you buy an iPhone and you love your iPhone, you can write all the great things that you love about your iPhone, what you can use your iPhone for, and then other people who are considering the iPhone can then go on and sort of read your reviews of the products. It's kind of like, you know, it takes a lot of time when you want to buy something new to search online and see what people are saying, or maybe find out how to use your product better.
And Valentine's is coming up, so it's also a wish list for all to see. So if your boyfriend is so stupid that he has to ask you what you want for Valentine's, you just go to TakeTake.com. It's already there, darling.
Now, the good thing about this, though, is that, like you said, you can sort of add your wants and needs and all those kinds of things. But in order to do that, you guys have to request an invite at TakeTake.com. So, you know, in order to actually get started, that's what you're going to have to do. But once you do get invited,
and it's still startup. It hasn't officially launched yet, so they're still testing the waves. But just go check it out and get invited and have fun with TakeTake. Just like when you say, on Facebook, I'm shooting This Week in Fashion. Well, now you can say, and I bought a fabulous dress, and you can show everyone what it is. So it's all about what you have as opposed to where you are.
And also what you want.
And what you want.
And if you're over something, like this Valentino dress, you can actually add that in there too.
Exactly.
So you have lots of different options, and it basically lets you.
Discussing TakeTake calmed me down for a second.
Okay,
I
good.
literally just kind
or you took some kind of
out.
anxiety medicine, like in between the break. I don't know.
Let's move to something
happened.
Let's move to something that also makes me happy.
Oh no,
that would be. There she is, Miss America.
I was going to sing with you, but since you're a singer, I decided to save myself the humiliation.
So not only did we get to enjoy the Golden Globes on Sunday, but the night before the Golden Globes was the Miss America, the first time it's actually been on a major top 4 network in like 10 years.
Very exciting.
It had some days when it was back on like CMT, and who watches the Country Music Channel for pageants? Not me.
No.
So anyway, it's on ABC again, and they had the host of Brooke Burke and who we love, and
Chris Harrison,
the Bachelor host. It was very ABC'd out. Joy Behar from The View was there. It was like the big ABC family.
Yes.
And well, first of all, let's congratulate our winner, Miss Teresa Scanlon.
Yay!
We have a picture of Teresa.
High schooler.
The winner, the first high school winner. There's Teresa getting her crown.
All.
Now, let me explain to you. The woman on her right in the black dress, her name is Phyllis George. And she is a previous Miss Texas who was very famous. So we like her a lot, and she's fabulous. So that's who crowned her, previous Miss Texas. And Teresa is 17, and she looked fabulous, and I just was very happy with her winning. But let's move on. Before we keep talking about how great Miss Teresa was, I want to show you all a video of Miss Arkansas. She was first runner-up. And in my opinion, I kind of was rooting for her to win, but I was still okay with the winner. I wasn't near as upset about that as I was with Heidi Klum and Michelle Williams' dresses. But Miss Arkansas did this unbelievable ventriloquist act.
It was
I don't know if I
amazing.
should be scared because she looks like a schizophrenic, or if I should love it because she's really good at it.
Now we're going to warn you though, the quality of the video is not the best because we searched and searched and searched and we couldn't find the best HD quality version. So if you guys want to see it, you'll have to look for it yourself, but you'll get the idea. Take a look.
Beneath the open sky, pale sunbirds in the wind. I want to strum my guitar and yodelay-o-dee. That's the life I led on it.
Wasn't that amazing?
I mean,
I love you, Miss Arkansas. Anytime you're in California, call me. And by the way, I chose Miss Arkansas as best dressed. And I know you're going to think I'm nuts, but I honestly, if you're going to be in a pageant and you're going to do a ventriloquist act, which is, let's be honest, not very modern for 2011, and you're going to wear a jumpsuit, wear a red sequin jumpsuit, because you know what? She looked good.
Yes.
It really kind of worked.
It did work.
It was like a big ruby red fabulous jumpsuit, and I was kind of okay with it.
Well, yeah, that could have gone all wrong if she was wearing something else, like maybe that dress that Leighton Meester was wearing.
Exactly.
That would be terrible.
So, note to self, if you're going to do a ventriloquist and you're going to be in a pageant, wear
Which
a
you're
red
probably not
sequin
going
jumpsuit. And my worst dress, I have to show a picture of Miss New York, because I'm really pissed off.
You're just really upset about this.
If we have the picture up, I would love for y'all to see it. Well, no, that's Miss Delaware.
Yes, that was my worst.
That's Miss New York. Okay, see,
Woo!
who
Straight out
has
of the 80s.
hips that wears hip accentuators? I've never heard of anything in my life.
Hip accentuators.
Who has hips and wears hip accentuators? Clearly
my
Miss
God.
New York. And the irony
That dress
here,
is all kinds of 80s.
The irony is her platform, because every girl has a platform. Hers was gay rights. Well, I wish a gay would have showed her how to freaking dress, because they surely aren't good friends to her.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my
so-
God. You're hysterical today. I don't know
can't.
who wound you up, but thank you very
Michelle
much.
Williams did.
Let's make it for a
So,
good show.
do you have any best words for Miss America, or should we
Well,
move
you
on?
showed my my Miss Delaware ballet outfit, and then my best was, which we couldn't find.
Well, that's Miss Delaware.
No, that's-
First of all,
yeah,
she's
Miss
not
Delaware.
even pointing her toes. I mean, what's going on
And
here?
this up close is just all kinds of heinous. But
Yeah.
my best was Carissa Cameron, who was last year's Miss America, and we can't really find a great picture of hers, but it was
there
this
she is.
fabulous long red dress with, ruffles at the bottom,
Yes,
and it was
she
just,
looked good.
she looked really stunning. And she had a beautiful yellow dress last year that was equally as beautiful, so she was an easy pick for me.
Yes. So,
All right.
Good for them. Thank you, Miss
Woo!
America, for entertaining us yet again in 2011.
Thank you for giving Blair something to do on a Saturday night. Just
So we only
kidding.
have literally a couple minutes left. So
so-
honestly, I just think we should show this fashion funny to end the day.
Yeah.
Let's just end the day with a laugh. Here's
Please.
a video from TLC's awful show, Toddlers and Tiaras, and this is a disgustingly eyebrow situation.
Cover your ears. Cover
That's
your
so
ears
depressing.
and maybe your eyes. Just cover both.
And then maybe a little bit right here.
Oh, no, don't do my eyeballs.
Okay, she's just gonna look at
Guess
them,
what I
okay?
got for you?
don't do my
I got you a special
eyebrows.
prize. After we do your eyebrows, okay?
She had a bad experience with not Jessica, but another lady to where the wax was way too hot and it actually ripped off her skin. So she's been kind of terrified ever since then.
Don't tear it. Don't tear it. Ah!
It's all done. It's all done.
No,
Hey,
you
it's all done.
tear it though.
Yeah, but it's all done.
See? Look how pretty it looks. That wasn't bad, was it?
Okay, lay back.
Yes,
for me.
it
Lay back.
was. No.
Just one more.
I would like to say that beauty doesn't play a part in winning pageants, but they're called beauty pageants for a reason.
Don't tear it.
It'll be just a
Don't
second.
tear it. Oh!
You're almost done. She's done, honey. You're all done. It's all done. Hey, you're all done.
Normally, I would have just held her down and ripped it off.
I want to laugh, but that has child abuse written all over it.
Totally. You know,
I mean,
somebody in our chat room is actually saying, I go through this every morning.
Oh,
if you
for
do, you
heaven's
need to
sakes.
find a better system because that looks like pure hell.
Yeah, that was hell. And
Yeah.
to do to a little girl for a pageant, like,
I mean,
to go, don't get me
the
started.
whole time I was watching it, I kept thinking, how could this mother let this be filmed? Because it's not making her look
No,
good.
it's not making her look good
Yeah.
at all.
Ugh.
But you know what? What you got to do for beauty.
And it gave us a good way to end the show.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, that was just exhausting.
I mean, I know we need a break or a drink.
Yeah, or a drink.
All right, guys. Well, that is it for our show. But, you know, we're going to have another one next week. So if you miss us, and I'm sure you will, you're going to want to tune in.
Yes, tune in. We're going to change our time next week to 5 p.m. Pacific as opposed to 4:30, and to 8 p.m. Eastern as opposed to 7:30, and to, that would make it 7 p.m. Central.
That was good.
So
You just
5,
made-
7, and 8. We're moved up 30 minutes because we think you need to be just a little bit drunker to enjoy the show.
Yes, we do. We definitely do. And we'll be working on that ourselves as well.
Exactly.
And you guys, before next week's show, if you want to send us a note, you want to tell us that you love this show, you hate this show, or you'd like to see something in next week's show, or you just want to tell Blair how beautiful he is, which I'm sure you do, then you can email us at fashion@thisweekend.com, or of course you can tweet us at thisweekfashion.
And be sure to get the This Weekend app on iTunes. Can't live without it. Okay, that's
Must
enough for
have.
today. Cheers. See you next week. Thanks.
See you guys next week.